Welcome, AFTERBUZZ TV fans. Today we talk sex, lies, and videotape on Season 1, Episode 6 of ABC's Notorious. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Welcome, AFTERBUZZ TV fans. Today we have another exciting episode. I probably should have said drugs, lies, and videotape for this episode. I'm your host today, Yemi Abayomi. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at @ayemyems. And I have my lovely co-hosts who are joining me today.
Yeah. I'm Mariann Shaginian. You guys can find me on Snapchat, Instagram, or Twitter at Mariann_Shag.
I'm Becca Brown, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Becca B Talks TV.
Great. So we are still getting closer and closer and closer to finding out who's Sarah's murderer, but then we had a whole host of other issues come up with the Emily Parker kidnapping, the Rosa Baez kidnapping,
That was
and
emotional.
some new competition for LHL.
Cali.
Yes,
Yes.
and Cali. So what did you guys think of today's episode?
I liked today's episode. I started feeling not so happy with Oscar in the beginning of the episode. Him making an accusation that it was Jake who possibly did something, I felt like he just seemed weak at that point. Because at the end of the day, yes, I know you are very hurt that your wife cheated on you with one of your close friends who's your lawyer. But at the end of the day, I felt like he made that statement more out of like spite and revenge rather than I want to find justice for who killed my wife.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for Oscar though, because as you said, he's had a lot thrown at him. I mean, his wife had a child apparently.
Yes.
She has a fake fake passport. She's had an affair with Jake. It's just like
friend.
I don't know. I might lash out too if I found out those things about my wife that I've been married and thought I knew.
And his best friend just like killed himself. So.
Oh no.
That's true.
We have that. I think Oscar's actually holding up fairly well.
Yeah, that's true. Because then he did. Yeah. Miss Vicky too. Was it Miss Vicky?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's
been a lot. I sympathize with him, but at the same time, I just didn't agree with him going on to LHL and saying that.
Yeah.
I feel like he knew better.
Making poor decisions.
You guys are kind of hard on him. I feel really bad for him, and I kind of expect him to do whatever he can to kind of get this anger out of him, whether it's lashing out by going on live television.
Yeah.
But then the suspects come out to be the wrong person.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like now Jake is arrested for possibly.
But how do you know it's the wrong person?
That's true.
Yeah, we don't know.
But I feel like Jake had too much love for Sarah to do something like that.
That's true. I agree. I don't
Because
agree.
then now it's kind of like, okay, so how do we not know it's Oscar who did it? And he's just trying to find ways to get out of it. I don't know. See, I'm getting all confused now.
Well, we know that he didn't know about the affair.
Yes.
Unless Jake has split personality or something, I don't think he did it because he gets so emotional just looking at pictures of Sarah.
Yeah, he does, even in the storage unit.
Yeah, that broke my heart.
Yeah.
And he was surprised that his name was on the unit.
Yeah,
or he seemed surprised.
And so that obviously is an indicator that Sarah really did have a very very close relationship.
If
he's the one that he's the name that she put down on that storage unit without even him knowing it. Do you guys think the DA actually believes that Jake is that Jake is guilty, or do you think he's just kind of making a power play to show who's boss?
I think he believes it. I think he full on believes it.
I don't know, cause I feel like he's trying to figure out what his options are, but I kind of feel it's like he's trying to show his authority as well, especially because now if we look into this episode and last episode, there's this relationship growing between Julia and him.
Oh yeah.
And maybe he's trying to one up Jake or show that he has power over Jake and kind of wrap Julia toward his side because he sees that they're very close. They have an intimate relationship, a professional relationship. So I don't know. It could go both ways.
I didn't think of that, but I do like him with Julia a little bit. Did you?
Yeah, I think they're cute.
I think they're cute.
Okay, so
They're
just a
both
few episodes
attractive
you're
people.
saying that you were on a Jake and Julia, so now are you team Max now? Is that what I'm hearing?
I'd rather Jake and Julia, to be honest. I mean, because that picture, they're cute.
I think
They look good together.
I think
They do
they're
look good together.
great friends, though. Yeah, they very good looking couple.
Yeah.
But I think that they are great best friends because
Yeah,
they
me
both
too.
also focus on their work so much that I feel like that would already be clashing within a relationship and it wouldn't
Yeah.
work out. But yeah,
Yeah, it's one of
they're
those
besties.
things where you have to like choose between friendship and relationship.
What I wouldn't be surprised if at some point they're gonna have to get together at some point.
Yeah.
But I don't know for how long. So I don't know if it's one of
Yeah.
those things where it's like, oh, there's a night where they're
Like a woman.
consoling each other and they're drinking wine and one thing leads to another
And
and
it
oops,
just-
a kiss and then but then the next morning they decide no, we need to just keep it platonic and
Yeah.
they're definitely gonna tease that in front of us. I think
I
for
think
a
so,
while, but I
yeah.
think there's gonna be a moment where
Something.
their
Because,
walls
yeah, I
collapse.
feel like they're just so close that it's bound to happen that they care for each other maybe a little more than just a friend.
I just want them to get in that like argument and then start making out. that would be my dream like get together scene for them.
All right. Well, you were right. I mean, when you anticipated it between Ellie and
Yes.
Ryan.
Ryan.
Yes.
Yes.
And Ryan. So maybe you'll
I
be
wanna
2 for
s-
2 pretty soon.
I want to see more of Ella and Ryan in the
Yeah,
show.
we didn't
like
see too
together.
much of them today.
Yeah, they weren't too upfront, but Ryan did help again,
Yes.
Julia, with the Rosa case.
Yeah. So, gosh, what did you guys think about that? I mean, I feel like we constantly
was-
see in the show where we think one thing is going on, a simple story about a missing child, and then the show kind of introduces this crazy twist where this girl is involved in a drug ring, selling crisp cut fries.
Yeah.
What did-
I think in this episode they did a great job of showing like the competitive side to the shows and different news networks with the Callie Collins show. And I think it was interesting to see like the different approaches because obviously the parents for Emily Parks, right? Emily Parker. They went for the money that was being offered by Callie.
Yeah.
So then LHL decided to take on a different route, take on the Rosa case. And it just showed like the different approaches they had because at the end you find Emily's case not ending very well. But on the other hand, they found Rosa. So
Yeah.
I think it's just the approaches and the production and showing off Julia and how she does her job.
When they did find Rosa, I was like, I don't think the other case is gonna end well.
Yeah.
I was surprised actually. I was surprised. I wasn't sure whether they were going to have a conclusion with the girl or
Me either, I wasn't sure.
or what was
It was
going to
just gonna
happen.
be
But I
left
was a
in
little bit surprised that the Emily Parker didn't make it. But I wonder if they're going to tell us on the next episode exactly, if that's going to be another storyline coming down the road.
I think Callie, she just ended it with like, oh, it was a homicide
Yeah.
and they found
They
her
found
body.
her body.
I think at that same time it showed her mistake in the show
Yeah,
within her own show
because it was like hours before.
hours before, and they Jake had like they were both Jake was talking with Emily's parents about if it comes out, if the show releases the information that she was on the website, then the person who
person's gonna get
abducted her could possibly
scared.
be from the website and get scared and do something to her. And so Jake offers the option of don't give out that information, and then I will give you the exclusive for the Oscar case because of the outcome, what might occur. And Callie said she would think about it, but she made the wrong decision at the end of the day because within hours you get breaking news that the body was found.
Yeah, so I wonder if this time, she obviously has a penchant for crying during her shows, and I wonder if on this
Yeah.
occasion those were some real tears because she held the keys in her hands. She could have
Exactly.
withheld that video and withheld that information, and now
Probably
you're
some
probably
real
right. She
tears.
probably is blaming herself.
Yeah,
for
she
the,
definitely
for the
does feel
outcome.
guilty. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think about Callie Connors? This is the first time you've really kind
I
of
wanna
seen
see
her
more.
on the show, and that competition between her and LHL.
I feel like she, as a host, as a leading woman, she had that really strong perspective. Look, the way she was carrying herself, she was a lot like Louisa, and I thought she would do the right thing, but
no, I didn't think she would do the right thing, but I do like the mix, like how different her character is from Louise, and I want to see more of her. I like the actress who plays her. She's a good actress, so.
Yeah, no, I do like to see how they kind of play off one another. Because, we've been seeing kind of the competition between Jake and Max, the DA. We've been seeing the competition between Ella and Ryan.
Yeah.
And now we're getting a chance to see competition between Julia or Louisa and Callie.
Yes.
So it's like there's this competition on all of these different levels.
yeah.
So I guess we'll see what happens there.
Everyone wants to be the best.
And we have Megan again stepping it up in terms of really kind of causing them to shift their way of looking at the news stories. Instead of focusing on a young girl who's middle class and blonde and blue eyed, you have Megan again, who always seems to be the one who kind of
voice of reason.
Yes, the voice of reason, the investigator, the person kind of who digging things up and really creating the resources and the access to the information to allow for this show to be great. To allow to get the exclusive or create a new story. So Megan keeps doing that.
Yeah, and I really appreciate the fact that she is so informed, because at the end of the day, Callie had put out this thing about Rosa and her boyfriend, and that he was a thug and all this totally wrong judgment of him. And in the end, you see that with Megan saying that he was let go by the police. We figure out that Julia goes talks to him. That leads to Ryan kind of investigating him, but then we figure out that he's actually trying to save Rosa, and that it's ransom money that he's selling all that he has. So clearly he's not a thug. He loves this girl and he's trying to save her life because she saved his life. And that line killed me, by the way, when he was saying that she saved me from the gang.
That killed me too. I was like,
I teared up for a second. I'm like, oh my God.
I was like, oh my God, stop.
It was so sweet.
No, I agree. That got me too. I was like, I love to see a love like that and a relationship like that. And you saw the way he ran to her and held her head when they found her.
I think this episode, like this storyline of the missing girls, was the most emotional yet.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah, it was definitely an emotional one.
I have to say, Julia needs supervision when she goes places on her own, because that's not that smart.
I was thinking about that too. I was like, this little lady in this part of town that she's not familiar with.
Yeah.
You're not a cop.
And she was being a little aggressive. I don't want to say he was obviously being aggressive towards her. But she was, running up to the gate and, come and talk to me. I want to do that. And I'm just like, why wouldn't you just bring someone from the show? From the show with you.
Witness
to make sure
something.
That you're okay.
Yeah.
Especially, and why are you going at that hour?
At night.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no saving you after that.
Always there at night.
But you can see how committed she is to her job, because she went back again a second time and was even more, she grabbed him by the arm. Let me help you. I want to tell the story. I want to find Rosa. I know that, you're not behind this. You're obviously trying to collect money for a reason. So she was persistent, and, obviously she cares about every story and the individuals behind them.
She believed in him, too.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure when they first introduced him and he was all angry and aggressive. I was like, uh-oh, maybe they got this story wrong. Did Megan mess up? But then it turns out that no.
Megan doesn't mess up. Megan's perfect.
He was just being aggressive to push people away so they don't get involved and cause something horrible to happen, which, I mean, is also really sweet, too.
We didn't get emotional. We're not emotional people. What?
I thought you were going to say, when you talked about Julia, kind of someone needing to supervise her, I thought that you were going to talk about her trespassing onto the restaurant grounds and going into that video surveillance room and getting that video footage of Rosa while she was serving customers.
Sneaky one, not Julia.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was even ethically, legally, if it was all
certainly
correct.
not legal.
Yeah, because she just went in and took
He's
it.
like, no,
Definitely not legal.
And then I was thinking, like, if for whatever reason it wasn't used in the case, would they even look at it? Because technically she didn't have any permission to take it. So then if there was any proof of something occurring in that, it would have clashed. I was just, what's going to happen?
Yeah. She gives me anxiety.
Because you never know what's gonna happen to her. I mean,
she's gonna end up getting arrested.
She might get herself into a
crying
pretty,
out loud.
sticky situation.
Possibly next episode, because she's taking Jake across the country or whatever from the preview.
Yes,
Oh.
yes. I mean, it's so funny how this show. There's so many things in the show that just remind me of certain stories. So with the kidnapping story, it reminded me of John Benet Ramsey, and they even made reference to John Benet Ramsey and Natalie Holloway. And in the scene where we see Julia driving off with Jake, I mean, it reminded me of O.J. Simpson, of course.
Yeah.
You know, in that same situation, she's the Al Cowlings.
I have to say I was surprised, like, at how much Julia put the story before, like, the attention the station got in this episode, because she seemed to genuinely care about getting the story out to the audience instead of just getting those views from the audience.
Yeah, I mean, I like her commitment to, you know, I think she sees her role as like a public servant, you know, disseminating information that is relevant and meaningful to everybody. So I think she's doing a really great job at that.
I think also you kind of see in the end of the episode that obviously for Julia the show comes first, but toward the end of the episode when Jake was on LHL and he basically all the cops and the DA came to get him.
She was so hesitant.
You could see that her guard went up and she was like, okay, cut to commercial.
stop.
But she was her president was the one who continued it. But I was just like, wow, Julia, like
good for you.
You're not putting the show technically first, I guess. Like, you care about your friend, and I think the fact that he was potentially framed because of the knife in the storage is just like a really big question mark, because wouldn't he have seen it or known about it?
So yeah, let's talk about that. I wasn't really sure what to make of how this storage room, what's in there, how the knife got there, who put it there.
Who tipped off the police?
What are you guys thinking?
At this point, I'm thinking that it's one of the assistants, either like Ryan or Ella.
You think Ryan or Ella is framing Jake?
I would think Ella, actually.
I don't know.
Why? What would her motive be?
Maybe she was with Oscar at one point.
And they have a backstory together?
Yeah.
Interesting. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know. Because I feel like Ella's just so close to Jake. So I really doubt that she would betray him like that. And I feel like Ryan hasn't really shown much connection to Jake to like.
He hasn't.
I mean, to like put anything on him, I guess. So I don't know. And he got a letter that was sent him about the storage because he had no ID either. So technically, whoever sent him the letter for the storage is, or maybe we should find out who else is on the storage list, who knows about the existing storage that could possibly have sent him that letter.
I'm just thinking, who even are the other characters that it could have been? Because I don't think it's Ella. I don't think it's Ryan. Levi's dead now, so it can't be him. And I don't think it's Jake's partner. So I'm just trying to think of are they going to introduce a new character or
I think
is it Oscar?
We least expect it to be.
Is it Oscar at the end of the day? Maybe he did know about the affair
or he just raged out like the past and he just did something to her.
And he went insane. Or maybe, well, I was going to say maybe she killed herself, but I don't think so. I think that would be a little hard.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it could be Ryan because just we don't know about him that much.
We don't know a lot about his background, but
Yeah.
he is the son of the network president, so he doesn't.
He'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
He'd be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't
But
know.
I could see Ella too.
I want to blame Oscar.
Part of me thinks that
I feel
maybe
like
they've
want to blame
spent.
Oscar.
Well, I feel like they've spent so many episodes kind of diverting our attention from Oscar.
That it could be.
You know, because we thought maybe it'd be Levi or someone else, and you know, poor Oscar, who's like finding out information after information about his wife that he didn't know, and about his lawyer that he didn't know. How, you know, he's just constantly suffering. So he couldn't have possibly done the murder, but maybe this is, again, another one of the twists that the producers are kind of putting us through. And we are going to find out that it was because maybe he did know that Sarah had a storage unit. And maybe, if he kind of went crazy and heat of passion and just threw the knife in there because he figured out that no one would really know about it. And maybe my thought is, maybe, you know, he pretended to kind of make up with Jake and hire him back as his attorney, but he's still a little bit jaded.
Yeah.
So maybe he went and got that murder weapon, I don't know, and placed it in the storage unit and then sent the letter to, I don't know, that might be a lot from jail for him to do from jail.
I was thinking from jail.
But unless, because in the pilot, he said that he got a call from Sarah, right? And then he rushed over to the house. So what if, just hypothetical, but what if he was already at the house, he committed the crime, and that time frame where Sarah potentially called him, scared, he was driving over, was the time frame where he went, placed the knife into the storage unit because no one else knew the storage unit existed, and then built the whole story of like, oh, she called me and I went home and she was like this, and
He was building the idea.
yeah.
Oh.
I guess we'll find out, I guess.
And then it sounds so convenient that Jake ended up going to the storage unit and the cops happened to have a tip at that moment to find him there. And Oscar's the only one in jail that he could have tipped anyone off. Or the DA too, so I don't think.
I could see it being Jake and like him getting free getting out of jail and them saying, "Oh wait, no, never mind, it's not him. We made a mistake." Blah blah blah, and then finding out that it is him.
So you think there's a possibility?
I think there's a possibility of anything at this point. I suspect everyone except for Julia and Luis, I think.
Mm-hmm. You know, and we still haven't really gotten a lot of, I mean, we have some hints into Megan's background. We know she used to work as an escort, but we don't know a lot about her. I mean, she seems very committed, certainly, to the show and to
She knows a lot.
Julia. So I wouldn't suspect her of anything, but we also don't really know a lot about her.
It's a mind game, honestly. It makes you think
It
about
is.
one person, and then the next episode you can start thinking about someone else being the suspect. I'm kind of blaming Oscar right now.
Do you guys
too, blaming Oscar.
Do you have any thoughts on who you so we got some information about Sarah, you know, having the baby by some choir boy.
When she was 17.
When she was 17, the family never really discussed it afterwards. What did you guys think of that? I mean, is that a possible lead, or is that just a kind of a side story that they introduced?
Ooh. It could be.
I honestly feel like that's more of a side story. Something like her past, who she was, because no one really knew about it. I feel like the fact that it was seen as shameful and she was sent to Mexico, I believe they said, to her aunt and uncle's house so she could live there, have the baby, all that stuff. I think it was a secret. I think it was just suppressed and put away in a box, and it's not someone who's going to come and haunt her and get her for it, but...
And I guess really what could the person do? I mean, she didn't do anything. The baby died.
Yeah, I think it was just probably like a little high school love. And her brother even said they didn't know much about birth control at the time. So I think it was just an accident. They were in love. It happened. Move on.
Speaking of suspects, I was going to say her brother.
Exactly. I was going to say the same exact thing. He's kind of been lingering on the side there. And we don't know anything about him. We don't even really know what their relationship was like. Were they close? Were they distant? Had they kind of gotten into a fight? Was Sarah trying to escape from the brother?
And he does have like a not so caring. He really doesn't care for Oscar. So maybe
He tried to blame Oscar.
Yeah. So maybe he committed the crime, possibly, and now since he's not a fan of Oscar, it's like I can throw it on you, and you're gonna be the first person they're gonna go to or suspect. So it could be a possibility.
Yeah, he certainly has some brains.
So let's start talking of predictions. What are we?
And now,
What do we think is gonna happen?
Prediction.
What do we think is going to happen next week? Because they did promise us some additional details on what happened. So what are your predictions for next week?
Well, Jake's escaping jail, apparently. So
Yeah.
that's going to be interesting.
Where are they going to go?
I just feel like my prediction for next week is gonna be more so that the blame is gonna be taken off Jake. I think Julia taking Jake and kind of running away is gonna be more so for the fact like she's trying to save him, trying to prove that he is innocent, and I think that's gonna be the main storyline for who to clear off Jake's name. I don't think it's Jake. I just want him to be cleared.
I still think there's a tiny possibility.
Now that you have raised it, I don't think Jake is this. I don't think he's the appropriate suspect. I don't think he did anything. I do think the brother is somehow involved. I think we're going to be surprised to learn about something about their relationship between the brother and Sarah that's going to lead us down that path. That's what I'm seeing.
I think he was worried at first to speak on the station because of that. And then
He wanted to draw attention to himself.
well, and then he changed his mind because
I'm interested to see
It'll be
what.
a good one. I could feel it. Next week's gonna be good.
And then we are also going to get some more background. Next week we see J. August Richards' character taking the lead.
Yes, because Jake's not around right now, or he is, but he's stuck
he's around in a jail cell.
in a jail cell
and
or in a
escaping
car.
cops.
So hopefully we'll get to learn a little bit more about his
Bradley.
back-
I'm
Yes.
excited for that, especially whenever Jake got arrested. He's all like, if Jake calls, tell him I'm on my way. I think he's gonna take charge of it, be the leader now. It's gonna be good. I think he needs his own little time to shine.
You know what I want to see like a episode where we're introduced to like the whole Gregorian family.
That's true, because we only learned last week about the adoption, or that he was in foster care.
Yeah.
And so maybe we'll see some more of that backstory. I mean, I just feel like there's
That seems important.
so much more that we need to learn about each of the individuals that are on this show.
Yeah, that it seems important. So
Yeah.
backstories.
We'll understand people better.
Yes. Okay. Well, ABC, we're looking for backstory, so that's what we're
Ryan's
hoping.
backstory.
That's what we're hoping for coming up in the coming weeks. Thank you guys for joining us today. Hope you enjoyed this episode. As I mentioned, you can reach me on Twitter and Instagram at @YemYems. I'm Yemi Abayomi, and you have my co-host.
I'm Mariann Shaginian. You guys can find me on Snapchat, Twitter, or Instagram at Mariann_Shag.
I'm Becca Brown. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Becca B Talks TV.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.